to Kavinder Gupta first. Kavinder ji, ये बताइए कि Kavinder, all right, Saifuddin Soz, the decision that's been taken by the Pakistan caretaker administration to reward the wife of a convicted terrorist. What do you make of that?
No, first you wanted Mr. Kavinder to say something. All right, you have moved to me. I tell you, I have a feeling in my heart and mind. I condemn all kind of terrorism. There is a different story. Here, there are two individuals, Mr. Yasin Malik, who is in jail, and his wife, who is in Pakistan. They are two individuals. You can't mix his wife with him and, you see, start clubbing them together and punishing them. I have no brief for anybody. I condemn terrorism. Yasin Malik is behind the bars. Law will take its own course ultimately. But his wife is a Pakistani. You can't club her with Yasin Malik and rightly punish them. It may be verbal punishment, it will be propaganda, it may be any physical harm to them. You must understand, she is a Pakistani woman. She is an individual. You assess her performance on ground, all by yourself. Do something and know her better. Here is Yasin Malik, who is behind the bars, and he is facing law. Law has taken its course. So these are two separate individuals. What if she is wife of Yasin Malik? You can't club them together and punish them. Under no law in any country.
So, Saab, I just want to clarify, I'm very surprised by the position you've taken tonight. So, I want to know if this is your individual position or this is the position of the Congress party in Jammu and Kashmir, that these are two separate individuals and the ills or sins of one cannot be considered the sins of the other.
No, I don't speak for the Congress party. I'm a congressman.
Okay.
But whatever idea I express is my idea, not Congress party's. I am not a designated, office holder of Congress party.
Okay.
I'm an individual. I had been minister, I had been MP. This is my idea, not the Congress party's idea.
Okay.
They will fix responsibility with a spokesperson.
The reason I asked
I'm not the spokesperson.
The reason I asked this, and I'll go to SP Vaid Saab after this, and then Mona Alam, Lalit Ambadar is also there, Kavinder Gupta is there, the former Deputy Chief Minister. SP Vaid Saab, so Soz Saab is saying that, why is the media going overboard? These are two separate individuals. You can't hold the wife accountable for the litany of sins of the husband. But sir, pray may I ask, it's not like Mishaal Malik has covered herself in glory entirely. Just a few weeks ago, she undertook a rally, a protest march in Karachi against the holding of the G20 meeting in Srinagar. This was the tourism meeting, I think happened in May, last week of May. She took out a rally opposing that, saying that, all kinds of things which are not bearing in fact, or which have no bearing on the ground, saying how the G20 meeting should not happen in Srinagar. Now, it's a different matter. It's a separate matter that meeting happened. It was very successful. Delegates from all around the world came. They attended that meeting. Now, still, this argument that's being put forth that the wife cannot be held accountable for the sins of the husband. Now, pray explain to me, how does that work, especially in light of, this rally that she took out some weeks ago.
Evening, I have a lot of regard for Professor Saifuddin Soz, and I had the honor of having his company many times. But my views on this are little more from the police perspective and from the perspective of a soldier from the nation. Today's this news. The interim government has been made by the establishment in Pakistan. Mishaal Malik is not from a very prominent party and not a prominent leader, but the interim government has been made at the behest of the establishment. And by today's action, they have confirmed that she was mole of the ISI. If you recall, when her marriage took place, there were murmurs of she being an ISI mole, and today's action confirms that. Number one. Number two, Pakistan sends a very clear message that they are not interested in improving relations with India. So this is Mishaal Malik has been, she has been spewing venom against the country, against India, and by this, the message from the establishment of Pakistan, who calls the shots in Pakistan, is very clear that in spite of people of Pakistan suffering and in spite of complete bankruptcy of the economy, people of Pakistan, 24 crore people who are suffering for various reasons, and they all want Pakistan to improve relations with India. Otherwise, look at the inflation there. India being very close, the closest neighbor, they could import many things at cheaper prices. But Pakistan's establishment doesn't seem to be interested, and the message is very, very clear that there is no change of heart in the establishment, and they do not want any improvement in relations with India.
So let me ask Mona Alam this. I'm just trying to understand, what is the thinking? What is the process behind the awarding of this special ambassador position on human rights to the wife of a convicted terrorist? Let's say, for example, if India were to reward the same position to the wife of Sirajuddin Haqqani, or the wife of Noorwali Masood, or the wife of Omar Khalid, would that be acceptable to Pakistan? Would that be okay? India has our best interests in mind.
Actually, Zaka, India has done a lot worse. I mean, the revocation of Article 35A and 370 from Kashmir, that too unilaterally without taking the public in confidence.
No, what has that got to do with Pakistan? One second, those were provisions of the Indian constitution. What on earth does it have to do with Pakistan?
Zaka, actually, they were in conflict with UN resolutions on Kashmir, and we all know it like the back of our hand. And I mean, you cannot say that, you cannot claim that.
How was it in conflict with UN resolutions? Anyway, that's not my question even. My question is, I'm giving you a comparable example. If the wife of a convicted terrorist in your country, and admittedly she's a Pakistani national, has been rewarded with this position of ambassador for human rights, would it be okay with Pakistan if India were to do the same to the wife of Sirajuddin Haqqani, or the wife of Omar Malik, or the wife of Noorwali Masood? Would that be acceptable to you?
Yes, I think it would be, because of course, it would be, because yes, let me give my reason for this, because of course this is our internal matter. This is Pakistan's internal matter. One of our esteemed panelists has rightly pointed out that she's a Pakistani citizen. To you, she is the wife of a convict, but to Pakistan, she's a human rights activist, and nothing other than that.
What has she done to get that moniker of human rights activist? What's her claim to fame? Like, has she freed people who were persecuted, religious persecution? We had, 8 churches being burnt recently, just a few days ago, just yesterday. 8 churches have been burnt. Did Mishaal Malik appear at those churches and fight for the rights of the Christians whose churches have been burnt? Like, what is her claim to fame? Like, how is she a human rights activist?
I mean, our audience may not be privy to this information, but the Prime Minister of the same cabinet that Mishaal Malik is a part of had convened a very urgent meeting on the matter. He had spoken to the community, and also, I would take this opportunity to remind the churches that have been burnt recently in India as well. So,
that's not my question even. My question is, what is Mishaal Malik's claim to be awarded a special ambassador for human rights position? What other human rights causes has she taken up, is what I want to know.
I think she's a very prominent voice, on a national level, and as well as on an international level, when it comes to abiding UN resolutions on Kashmir. She's been extremely vocal about it. She's been the key speaker in seminars abroad, in Pakistan as well and abroad as well. And obviously she has a good base in London too. So